Welcome into the Sports Buffoons podcast. Yo, that's good. Walter, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the world. Welcome on and back again, once again, to the Sports Buffoon Studios here. Tanner, once again, shaking his head. It makes no sense at all. I don't understand it.
One day you'll get it. One day you'll understand.
No, I did. I pressed the button, Tanner. There's a button.
I didn't hear you.
I pressed the button. Did you mute me? Is that what happened, Tanner?
No, I don't mute you. I don't touch you.
Well, somehow we were both muted during the intro.
Whatever, man. How you guys doing today, man? You getting over the flu yet, or what?
Yeah, no. I'm over it now at this point. It took a while. At the beginning of every show, it's Tanner shaking his head every single time. It's the same thing.
I think it's like I think he has a tick. There's some sort of a tick that makes him do that.
It's something along those lines. It's interesting, but yeah, man. So we were out of commission for a while. I think the big illness, the big influenza A, has been going around town. So my New Year's was pretty wrecked for a few days afterwards. I didn't leave the bed basically like 4 days in a row. So anyways, we could not do a show, and I know you've had some family things too with some flu going around, but
we were all sick from Christmas Day to New Year's Day, basically. So
yeah, that sounds about right. And then on Tanner's end of things, he's always got a mild flu at all times. So I don't know if anyone's sick over there, but he's just at a low grade sickness at all times over there.
Nobody's sick, so we're good here.
I thought your daughter was sick, Tanner. That's what was going on over there.
I was like 2 days over the weekend.
Oh, okay. I guess she's fine now. So that's good to hear. All right, guys. Well, it's been a while, man. It's been a while. It seems like it's been a while too, because it's just been a
couple
weeks, and a lot's gone on since last time we were on. A lot to catch up on, of course. But man, more than anything, the playoffs are underway, and playoffs we're in the thick of it. We're coming up on the technically the most fun weekend of NFL of the year, because we have the best matchups of the year that are the most meaningful of the year too.
I don't know. This last weekend was pretty entertaining.
Oh yeah, no, the game
last weekend was great.
But the matchups this weekend should on paper be better technically. So this is traditionally looked at as the weekend where the games are the most impactful and the most entertaining, but it'll be hard to top last week for sure. So man, any news from you guys over the last couple weeks that anyone out there's missed out on? Anything new?
Nah, we didn't do anything, man. We were all sick.
Well, yeah, I know. I barely left the damn bed. So
you were sick. Jason was sick. I was working. So we that's a continued theme. But did you guys see the Jayhawk game last night against Iowa State? Number 2, Iowa State against unranked KU at Allen Fieldhouse.
KU actually, for once in their lives, started to play defense. It was very entertaining.
Finally, some Bill softball coming back into play. It was a great game. But there was also a disappointing game on Saturday against West Virginia. And I don't know. I look at both the teams that we've lost to, West Virginia and UCF, and I go, how the hell did we lose to those guys? So
I don't know. Is it time to fire Bill Self, or what's going on there with that thing?
No.
I hear this from KU fans every year. It seems like you got to fire Bill Self. So
I think
they're like Chiefs fans, man. They're emotional. Greatness has been in their blood too long.
The Mike Tomlin syndrome. They're just tired of him being there.
I don't know. I think the Kansas City Chiefs, man, because everybody's talking about still firing Andy Reid. So, for whatever reason. So it's just the success has been in the blood too long. And you don't settle for decency anymore.
Yeah, at the end of the day with Andy Reid, the thing is that he deserves to have another year to get this thing back on the right track. And really, the fact the Chiefs went 6-11 this year is insane to look at on paper, because never would have thought that Mahomes would play the majority of the season and you'd end up only 6 wins on record. And yeah, Andy Reid should not go anywhere yet. He deserves to have one more year to get this thing going again. But that kind of brings me to like my number one topic today, besides NFL matchups, and that's the current position opening that's about to come open with Matt Nagy leaving Kansas City. Now I know is officially not not gone yet, but he has been
He
interviewing
ain't
with other
gone
teams. And the Chiefs are not going to retain him based on everything I've heard. So there's a lot of open, a lot of good coaches out there I think could fill the shoes. But the question is, Andy Reid ready to turn over the reins to someone else to call plays? Does he want someone from outside of his system to come in here, or does he need to have that familiarity? Does he need to have a guy like Mike Kafka come back or Eric Bieniemy? So my number one question for you guys today really is just the Chiefs OC situation. Who's going to come in and replace Matt Nagy?
Yeah, I mean, for me, man, it's time to get somebody new in there. It's like we talked about on the show before how it's like Andy is kind of doing the same old stuff this year, and teams have figured it out. And I think it's time for some fresh blood in there, man. Possibly a younger guy like, I don't know, let's say Mike McDaniel. He seems like a good choice, but I think Andy is just getting too old, man. He needs to give up some of that responsibility.
Yeah, I wish he'd give up some of the play calling and just be able to focus on managing the game, because that's something he does get lost in at times. Is just he's so worried about his play calling duties that sometimes in-game management is not his strong suit. He's great at preparing throughout the week. Getting to the game itself is something I wish he could have the confidence to just let someone else handle that every once in a while. Tanner, what do you think of Mike McDaniel as a potential opportunity for the Chiefs?
I don't hate it by any means, but I don't know if I'd take him out to Miami, man. I don't know if I would do that.
No, but as a play caller, 'cause like some guys are better coordinators than their head coach. Do you think he'd be a good play caller? It would be a different system completely, though. If Andy could
be a different system, but he went to a Super Bowl one time, right?
Yeah, I mean, what's your point about that? What does that have to do with anything?
San Francisco has not had consistent success with play callers outside of Kyle Shanahan. I think Kyle Shanahan was honestly doing the same thing that Andy Reid does in KC, and that's calling the plays. So I don't think that was really Mike McDaniels. Now you saw what he did down in Miami. It being the guy that was play caller, he really was, and it didn't work out well. So I don't think he's.
Yeah,
coming,
well, let me tell you why it didn't work out, Tanner. And you can't put that all on Mike McDaniel. He's been in the league since like 2006, so he's got a lot of experience in the league. And you can't pin what happened in Miami on Mike McDaniel. You know why? Because they had like a turd quarterback. Or
you can't pin what he did in San Francisco on him either.
If you want to be generous, you could say they had a mediocre quarterback. You're not going to do anything in this league with a mediocre quarterback. You could be the best player. I don't know.
Go talk to San Francisco, who's going to the divisional game this week. Tell me you don't have a mediocre quarterback.
Brock Purdy's a better quarterback than Tua Tagovailoa.
I'm just stating he brought in a whole team around the guy. I don't think Mike McDaniels is as great as everybody thinks. I think he was overhyped because what Kyle Shanahan did during the San Francisco stint.
Well, I mean, even the Dolphins' offense has been obviously with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, they've been explosive over the years. But yeah, when you have a quarterback like Tua who's constantly injured over the years, got concussions all the time, and then also just average at best anyway, it's going to be hard to orchestrate that and be a top 5 offense anyways. So
let me get this straight, Tanner. You don't want Mike McDaniel, and you also do not want Eric Bieniemy, based on a previous conversation. So what seems to be the common denominator there? I mean, is there something that those two guys have in common that makes
there's no proven success. Choice? There's no proven success from those guys.
I think Bieniemy's did a good job the previous time. I mean, he did hold guys accountable. He was the one guy on offense.
Great. How are you play calling? Oh, you weren't. Oh, you weren't. No. Oh, Mike McDaniel, how was your play calling? Oh, yeah. Well, you kind of stink in Miami.
Play calling was totally fine in Miami.
All right. So he's not giving him credit for what happened in San Francisco. They did make it to the NFC Championship game with him as the OC.
Congratulations.
But Tanner's not going to give him credit in the same way he doesn't give Eric Bieniemy any credit. You know, we all know the reason why, and we know what those two guys have in common and why Tanner doesn't want them around. But I mean, give me a break.
We're not on Facebook anymore.
All right.
You know who I do want though? I want a strong interest in. I want Stefanski. to have a strong interest.
Okay, an old white guy. That's
in the
nice.
game.
Okay, so Stefanski's his pick.
Oh gosh.
So what is it about Stefanski? You think a run first type of offense? I mean, is that something you think we can just suddenly poop out here in Kansas City with Andy Reid calling things?
I think that's what we need.
How is that going to work? How is it going to be
not?
Andy Reid with Stefanski? Those two things are so conflicting.
That's the point. You want something different. Bring in Stefanski. Bring in a different perspective on this. You can still have the Andy Reid plays, but you have the ability with Stefanski as an OC.
Over play calling to Stefanski for this to work.
Quite frankly, I think they split. I think there's a bigger communication around it, man. I don't think you necessarily need one guy to call plays. I think it's all situational based in the end. But you need somebody different on that other side of things, a challenge. And I think Stefanski having the leadership, the coach of the year, by the way, with the freaking Cleveland Browns, for God's sakes, the Deshaun Watsons, the Shadur Sanders that he's had to play with. Yes, it has not looked pretty all the time, but he hasn't worked with the best at all, or even the mediocre, not even the average at best, like a Tua. This guy has done so much there with so little. I think him coming into a Chiefs offense, being different, challenging that run game that we really, really, really need, helping develop that, getting the right guys in. I think it'd be a bigger impact than what anybody else thinks.
All right, so that's his top pick is Stefanski in that case.
I mean, my top pick's actually
Daniels. Then
yeah, absolutely. I'm going.
My top guy's Cliff. I want Cliff.
And again, I mean, if you're calling Tua a mediocre quarterback, I think that's being a bit generous because I would say below mediocre, which is the same as all the Browns quarterbacks that Stefanski had to deal with. They were all.
Oh no, he's better than all the Browns had to deal with by far.
By far. Yeah, sure.
Tua was by far in that Browns
he's by far better than all those.
We've also seen
way better, dude.
Playoffs and cold weather just completely shit the bed. So
yeah, maybe
way better.
If you can't play in December and January, then you might as well not play at all.
You don't have anybody.
Why is he better by far, Tanner? Could that be because they have Tyreek Hill on the team, or
no? Browns don't have Tyreek Hill.
No, I'm saying you're saying Tua is by far better than all those Browns quarterbacks. Could that be because
he's shown a lot more capability than any of those Browns quarterbacks have? Any of them, including Deshaun.
Yeah, we're going to agree to disagree on that.
Yeah, so the other one we've heard people talk about lately is Cliff Kingsbury possibly as a reunion with Mahomes and what that would look like. My main problem with that, to me, would just be I think we would get too stuck in that shotgun situation because he is addicted to calling plays out of shotgun. He did it more than anybody else in the league there in Washington. And I would like to see us use a little bit better play action from under center. And I think that's where Mahomes can do his most damage, honestly, especially with a respectable run game. And so obviously it's going to come down to acquiring at least one free agent running back along with one drafted running back to get to that point. But yeah, if we just go out there and we're playing in shotgun every damn snap, I think that's going to cause its own problems from where we're currently at and be predictable in under center situations, much like the Chiefs were this past year, where every time they were under center, it was just a handoff to Kareem Hunt. And we want to have balance. We want to have creativity. And I'm not sure that Kingsbury is going to be the right fit for what we need here with the offense. So, and like I said, at the end of the day, is Andy Reid going to give up play calling? That's something I don't know yet.
This is probably why you get another guy in there like Kafka in the end.
Yeah, at the end of the day, so we did hear Alex Smith talking recently about Mike Kafka, and that's his number one pick. It makes sense. Bringing a guy back was coach here from 2017 to 2021 and has familiarity with Andy Reid. And just Andy's not ever going to be a guy, I don't think, that just goes away from his familiarity within his system. And it's unfortunate. It's frustrating. But I think as long as Andy Reid is here, he's going to continue to go back to the guys that he believes in, that understands the way he wants things ran and doesn't question too many things. So I'm not going to say Mike Kafka is a great option because I don't necessarily know that he is. But, I think we could get I think it'd still be interesting to see the improvement we could get from where Nagy was at with the team compared to what Kafka could bring. Because at the end of the day, man, with Matt Nagy under as OC with this team, we got worse every year offensively. And so there is something to it. When you go from Eric Bieniemy to Matt Nagy and you see a drop off every single year that Nagy's here, that's a problem. So just something to take into account. I think it should be only up from here. I would hope. So.
That's only if he leaves. Nothing
Yep.
confirmed. Nothing won't be. So.
Yeah, another thing I want to mention. So we have not talked about yet. The Chiefs ended up with the 9th overall pick in the draft. I don't think we've been on here since the season ended. So
I have not. I just confirmed that. So.
We will be spending plenty of time diving in to draft prospects more than ever before, and it's going to be a lot of fun because now we have something to look forward to. We're not picking at 28th or 32nd overall. We're going to have a nice pick of prospects to work with and many different directions. There's going to be probably a good running back there. There's probably going to be a good defensive end there, probably a good D tackle. And the Chiefs are going to have options to work with, which is going to be exciting. So expect to see some insight over the coming weeks leading up to the draft. So do you guys have, off the top of your head, Tanner, somebody you have the most interest in at the moment at 9th overall?
No, I don't. I haven't even looked into the available list yet or anything like that. I know I'm not looking at Jeremiah or whatever Love, right? Jeremichael Love,
Jeremiah
running
Love,
back,
running back.
whatever. Yeah. I'm not looking at him, but I'll be trying to dig into that here probably post Super Bowl after everybody's kind of figured out what they're gonna do. If they're gonna go back or what. So basically closer to combine, I'll start getting a list more together. But quite frankly, I'm probably targeting a defensive tackle, defensive end, just off the top of my head. But when we kind of figure out more news, I'll get a better list about what I like.
Yeah, my number one guy at the moment, is way too early, is David Bailey from Texas Tech. D end, I think he kind of brings what we need here as far as that style of outside pass rusher. And I think he'd be a great fit here, and much better prospect than the Felix Anduke Uzamas of the world and some of the other guys we've had come along over the years. I think at the end of the day, George Karlaftis needs to have help on the other side for him to be successful too. He's not a guy that can just win on his own on the D line. He needs to have a D end on the other side that can help push pressure back against that quarterback for him to use his high motor to finish off plays. So Mike Dana, unfortunately, not doing it. Charles Omenihu, not doing it. Got to have somebody over there that can get after the quarterback a little better on the other side. So that's my way too early guy. That could change. Obviously, it's January. Getting into 3 months before.
So much is shoot. Yeah.
3 months before anything. So my opinion is open to change over time. So
yeah, I'm with you guys at this point. I mean, give me whoever the best player available is that can get to the quarterback. That's who I want at this point.
Yep. Speaking of that, just kind of random thought here, Tanner. National championship. We got Miami. Ruben Bain is one of the DNs that'll be a top prospect in the draft. That's a guy that could potentially be on the Chiefs' radar. We're getting to see one more.
He's huge, man. He's huge.
No, yeah, he is. He's interesting. I don't know that I love him yet as a prospect. I think he looks okay, but I'm just glad we get to see one extra game out of this guy as they face off.
I'm more curious how he does against the offensive line of Indiana. Indiana's O-line has played really well, and I think you're going to see, going against some NFL caliber O-line guys, how he looks this on Monday.
Yeah, it'll make the evaluation process a little easier to see him against good competition like that. But
some proven success.
We need to dive into this game. You got Miami winning or Indiana?
I got Indiana. Miami's going to be. Don't get me wrong. Miami outsizes Indiana and all that, and I think that, and they play a little dirtier, right? They're a little scrappier. They play, they like to hold more and not get calls and all that stuff. But I think in the end, Indiana it's just set up currently with Mendoza and Cignetti, where they're going to want you to play dirty. They're going to want you to do certain things so they can expose you. And, Cignetti stated earlier this year on the Pat McAfee show, or it might have been Game Day, one of the two, basically like, if we play a top 25 team, we're not going to just beat them. We're going to crush them. And that's what they did against Oregon. It's what they did against Ohio State. and I think that's what they're going to do against Miami. I think it looks really good early, and I think Indiana just says, "Hey, watch this," and takes over.
Yeah, I like Indiana too, mainly because I'm not a big believer in Carson Beck. I
Correct.
don't
I'm not
think he's
either. But look
been-
where he's at now. I've talked shit on Carson Beck literally every show on the Lock It In show, and
Yeah, well, to
there he
me,
is.
Carson Beck is a guy that this is his last chance to do anything in football. I think that the next level is not going to work out for him whatsoever. And I just think Mendoza's a better quarterback than Beck, and that's going to end up prevailing in this game. So, but yeah, I mean, there's a size issue for sure. Miami is a lot bigger. They got the better recruits, whereas Indiana doesn't have any 5-star recruits on their rosters. So, yeah, I think it'll be a fun game. But I got Indiana winning.
I am gonna roll with Miami just because I want to see the underdog win, and you guys know me. I always want to see the better defensive team win these types of games. So it's 8.5 point spread right now. I'll roll with Miami. That's who I want to win.
Yeah, Michael Irvin on the sideline. He's doing some powdery substance, probably somewhere on the sidelines during breaks.
I have a feeling Michael Irvin's had some relapse problems. He's his time in the 90s with the Cowboys and at Miami too. He's had a lot of fun. I got a feeling he'll be back to those same antics if Miami gets a win here this next week.
Well, he's always excited, so I don't know if that's going to change anything. He's always excited about something.
Do you think it's possible that as a person you can do so many drugs in your life to where once you stop, you just always act like you're on drugs anyway?
Yeah, I know people like that.
You're stuck in that.
Yeah, I definitely know people like that, and a lot of them they're just wired like that from then on out. Even
he's wild,
acting like they're on drugs. It's kind of like Michael Irvin.
You know what's kind of weird, right? So Miami, if they went out, this will be the first non-top 5 seed, top 3 seed technically, to win an NCAA style tournament. We've never had a 10 seed in the title game for the NCAA basketball tournament, and now in football, you're gonna have a 10 seed going against the 1 seed in the title.
And that's the other thing too, man. I do not want to see an undefeated season. I just flat out don't want to see it. I've never wanted to see that, unless it's like KU basketball or something like that. But if it's just like
we never get
random teams that I don't care about, I don't want to see anybody go undefeated.
Nah, man, give me Indiana. Give me the under. Like they're truly the underdogs in this game here. So, just size, Big Ten, never had success. This is
Indiana's the underdog.
Well, I know what Tanner
not
means.
odds wise.
True underdog.
Historically, Indiana has never been even close to this good. And,
no, not even
and
close.
Also, we talked about the size thing. I mean, Miami has a lot of advantages in this game over Indiana.
Yeah.
But I think coaching and quarterback play, Indiana is better.
Well, I mean, Vegas typically knows something. So if they've got 8.5 point spread, then they must see something that.
Well, because Indiana's been blowing teams out.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to.
Hasn't been close.
Yeah,
have been close. What's your thoughts here, Mike? About who is it? Dante Moore, Oregon's quarterback. Going back to college today.
Yeah, my only thought about it as a Chiefs fan is it's unfortunate because, that's a guy you were hoping would go top 10 to basically push up the board more skill position players / defensive ends, guys like that. And now you're taking a quarterback out of the mix. So there's always that chance that someone steals your guy ahead of you now instead of the quarterback, which we don't care about, obviously, for the next, 8 years.
But do you blame Dante Moore and the NCAA rules and all this, or do you blame the New York Jets organization?
I'm not going to blame the Jets necessarily on this, but I could see why teams or players would be scared off from wanting to go pro. But you don't know who's going to be picking, in the top 5 next year. It's hard to.
Right, I know New York Jets will probably still be back there.
Yeah, they will be. And you just can't control who's going to be picking at the top next year. So it's kind of silly if that's the reason. It doesn't make any sense to me. But he does. To me, honestly, he did need to go back for one more year just by watching him play. I don't think he was pro ready, and I think that at the end of the day, it's probably the right decision for him to go back.
I think it's interesting though in this too because they just signed Dylan Raiola for Nebraska.
Well, they did,
came
but
into
then
Oregon.
he's transferring again.
Oh, is he decided? I didn't hear that part.
Well,
He is decided to transfer again.
As soon as Moore said he was going to come back, then Raiola decided he's going to transfer again. We don't know where to, but because first Raiola was thinking he's going to go over there and be the starter. Now that he's not going to be the starter, he's like, "Well, this is stupid, so I got to transfer again." So I didn't. Apparently, you can just like make a phone call every day and just transfer.
You can go wherever the hell you want. There's no lock anymore. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Dylan Raiola is still a free agent, basically.
Dude, you got guys that are in the G League and the NBA, and I mean, coming back into college. So it's wild.
Yeah, and I don't know where Raiola is going to go yet. I don't really care that much, but I do think it'd be funny if he went like somewhere like Mizzou or Texas Tech or something. Just because it'd be hilarious. But I have no idea where he's going to end up.
It would be good. I mean, we know it's not LSU, so but yeah, it'd be funny to go elsewhere. Maybe Ole Miss, man. Maybe Ole Miss. They're looking for a quarterback. So we'll have to see what happens. But yeah,
hopefully
I didn't hear that part.
Good where he can actually develop because I actually think he's got some talent. I've watched him play the last 2 years, and he's had some impressive throws. But I hope he can develop a little more and get a coach that can help corral some of those things. So
yeah. I heard he's taking Instagram pictures in the training room with the cast on his leg. So
yeah, he wants to be injured right now. He wants to have a left knee injury right now, so he could be just like his boy Mahomes.
That's right.
It would be really crazy because Mahomes has a tattoo on his leg, and I think Raiola's probably due to get that tattoo. So that'd be something real interesting to see happen.
That would be amazing.
No, it'll be really messed up whenever the Chiefs draft him to be the backup. That'll be that actually won't be right. We'll have to be watching him. He'll be on the peeping Tom watch. He'll be on the list. Like, yeah, you two can't shower together, all right? All right, if Mahomes is in the shower, Dylan, you cannot go in there.
It's gonna go up to Brittany and everything, dude.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, he's gonna get a girlfriend that looks just like Brittany. He probably would. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and dive into some of the games coming up this weekend. Now, the number one on the list, first game of the weekend on Saturday, coming up at 3:30 Central Time, is the Bills and Broncos game. We got the number one Broncos. Bills, what are they, 6th seed? I don't even know where they're at.
It's a D off.
This is a team. The Bills are a team that you can't count them out. They have a great quarterback still. The receiving options are not great, but you still got James Cook there. The defense has been okay this year, and I think that they can beat the Broncos. Broncos are very beatable, and I know it's at Mile High, but what do you guys think about the idea or who you're rooting for? If one of you guys says the Broncos, we're gonna have a problem. So I know Tanner's thinking about it, but who you guys got in this game?
I mean, I obviously don't want to see the Broncos win this game. I hope they get crushed. If I was going to make the case for the Broncos, it's like I would say maybe they have a slight coaching advantage because I'll always roll with Sean Payton in the big games. And I would also roll with the Broncos defense by far if I was trying to make that case. So maybe this is more wishful thinking on my part, but the Bills have been there and done that coach quarterback combo. They've got the playoff experience, and let's be honest, man, it's Josh Allen's turn. Now, do I mean he's going to win the Super Bowl? Maybe not, but I think he deserves to at least win this game in advance. And their defense has been banged up a lot this year. Obviously, Josh Allen's banged up right now, but I think it's experience is what counts here. So I would roll with the Bills here. It's interesting that the Broncos are favored only by 1.5. So that kind of tells me that Vegas is not really respecting them as a favorite here.
It means on a neutral site, the Bills would technically be the favorite based on that.
And it's not like you're going to have a cold weather advantage up there in Denver. If you're a Bills player, they don't care about cold weather. So yeah, I'll roll with the Bills.
Can I ask you a question, Jason?
No.
My question is, why do you say deserve to Josh Allen?
Oh man, I feel sorry for the guy, dude. I mean, just he's never. Joe Burrow at least made it to a Super Bowl. Joe Burrow could at least beat Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen just gets crushed, man. He plays in these. He plays great. I mean, plays at an MVP level, puts up these ungodly stats, but he just for whatever reason, he hasn't got it done yet in the big game. So I just feel sorry for the guy at this point. Now, are there other teams that I would rather see make it? Maybe, but we're talking about Bills versus Broncos here. I could care less about the Broncos. Again, love the defense. I like Sean Payton, but dude, it's the Broncos, and I would be sick to my stomach if the Broncos even sniffed a freaking AFC championship or a Super Bowl berth. I'd be sick to my stomach. I just don't want to see it. So, but at the end of the day, yeah, I feel like Josh Allen has earned the right. Like, he's put up huge numbers, and I think it's just time. It's time for him to get the job done when it counts. And so that's what I mean by it's his turn. He's got to show up, and do what he does. But I mean, he's had a great season, man. So that's why I think it's his turn.
And Josh, by the way, has been a good playoff quarterback throughout his career. He's always played well in most of these games, but he just runs into the Chiefs. And that's been the number one kryptonite for the Bills in the playoffs. And now that the Chiefs are out of the picture, if you don't win it this year for the Bills, when will you ever?
Yeah, because Joe Burrow's out of the picture too. So.
Yeah, no Lamar, no Burrow, no Mahomes. If that's the case, like if you're Josh Allen, this is your free ride to get there, get to the Super Bowl.
And then what's the narrative going to be if you lose? Oh, you can't even beat Bo Nix. So why would we trust you?
Free ride.
Anybody else
with 3 receivers with ACL tears, currently banged up. Like the worst team Josh has ever taken to the playoffs is his one free ride. It's what we're comparing it to.
Yeah,
right?
no, this team has not been
this
great.
Is his worst
They've had
team.
A running game. James Cook has had his best season of his career. Now, the receiving options are not great by any means, but
they're awful.
Josh has made the best of it, and Dalton Kincaid's had a great season. So there's a few weapons there, but at the end of the day, this comes down to Josh Allen, James Cook, and then the defense playing good enough.
Oh, we rely on the defense. We all know how that goes for the Bills. So
yeah, against the Chiefs,
good, man.
You're playing the Broncos now, and it's not. There's no reason for the Bills to fail the same way they do against Mahomes every year, playing against Bo Nix. I mean, there's really no reason for it.
So, to me, I think so. I think there is because
it comes down to coaching. Sean Payton does have the edge in this game because he is a better coach than Sean McDermott is.
All the teams in the AFC divisional games right now are better than the Bills. They're way better. Even the guys sitting at home are better than the Bills. Who am I rooting for? I'm rooting for the asteroid in this game here because I do not want to root for the Bills and I don't want to root for the Broncos. So
you want a giant meteor? Is that what you said?
Yeah, that would be great. That'd be great. Yeah, pre-game, pop it in, no game, call it off. So, but
yeah,
no,
I don't understand the hate, Tanner. Because I mean, honestly, like the Bills have never really pissed me off. I respect the Bills a lot as a Chiefs fan because they're the one team that can beat us consistently, when it doesn't matter as much in the regular season. And every time they've beaten us, they've deserved it, and they've been the better team that day. The
regular
Bengals,
season,
on the other hand, are a bunch of little bastards, and they get one win against the Chiefs, and suddenly think it's Burrowhead, and then we decide.
I hope they never see a playoff day for the rest of Joe Burrow's career. So, yeah.
No, I'm just saying, I don't understand the hate by any means with the Bills. It's like I don't even feel like it's a hateful rivalry by any means.
Yeah, I personally don't want to see them win the Super Bowl. Like there's plenty of other teams.
Sure,
I'm not taking it to that level. I'm just saying.
No, but he's having a hard time picking teams between the Broncos and the Bills.
Yeah, that's
so
ridiculous.
For me,
that's
ridiculous,
Tanner. Tanner, that's ridiculous.
That's what I'm asking about.
Now
he can't.
All right. Let's talk about the game real quick, Carol.
He didn't even make his pick.
He's not making.
I'm about to. We're about to talk about it here in a minute. We're getting there. We're talking like I just said.
We've been on the air for like 40 minutes already. What are you talking about?
I was asking questions, man. I was asking questions. So the Bills just had another receiver go down with ACL tear, which is like their 5th or 6th string by now, or 7th or 8th probably, for that. So you lose Gabe Davis on Sunday, right? I think it was Sunday. You're down to Shakir, Keon Coleman, who's been suspended twice. Healthy scratches. No, 3 times actually, healthy scratches. So you're relying on a guy who can't show up to meetings on time. You have to start the guy. You have to start Shakir. You're relying on James Cook going against the Denver defense. That's
You're just
really good against
Brandon
the run.
Cooks. Brandon Cooks is still playing.
And Brandon Cooks has not been used, so he is fresh leg.
The reason why Tanner didn't bring him up is he thinks he's an old washed bum.
No, Cooks is still pretty decent.
Who remembers that he plays for the Bills? Because I don't. He hasn't been in the game all year.
That's all they have.
Brandon Cooks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I haven't gone to that point yet. Okay, Dawson Knox, Kincaid will be your main targets there. Like, you're relying on the run. Josh Allen has to run, and he's already banged up as it is. He has a hurt finger. Probably jammed it up on the helmet throw there. His leg and hip are all messed up. His ankle's messed up. If Josh Allen makes it out of this game alive, like without being injured on the injured list, I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised.
Cook has to run the ball well. I mean, he does have to run the ball well to win.
I honestly think the Broncos take this game. The Broncos take this game. I'm rooting for the Bills. If you're making me pick who I need to root for, I'm rooting for the Bills. I don't want to see the Broncos go. I'll see the Bills lose next week, in the conference title again. But I'm rooting for the Bills. But the stats that I see, the stuff that I'm seeing from a preview, there's a reason why Denver is in the position they are. It's going to be a close game. If it's a close game, just like I said in the Chiefs game, if it's a close game going in the fourth quarter, it doesn't matter if they're up or down. Denver will win that game. They will win that game. Sean Payton has a great record with the bye week. Great record with the bye week. Plain simple. I think Denver takes this game, and it's not even close.
Okay. Fair enough. He made his pick.
Well, we'll figure it out. There might be a easy money pick coming.
I hope so.
That has to do with this game, so we'll see what happens.
I hope so.
All right, guys. Next on the list for Saturday. Moving on over, we have. Let me get off this. I think K-State. Oh, they won. They lost that game. I had my
K-State lost. Yep.
So.
Pretty good.
So we got 49ers and Seahawks as the night game over there. I was a little surprised the 49ers got the win over the Eagles. I thought the Eagles would win one playoff game, but hey, whatever, man. This should be a great matchup, though. I mean, I think this is going to be a good game, even with George Kittle out for the year, obviously, probably out for next year too. I think the 49ers can put up a tough fight. They're a well-coached team. And I think it's going to be a hell of a battle. And you got to hope Sam Darnold just shows up and plays as well as he's played all year long. If he goes for whatever reason, goes out there and plays like the Jets, Sam Darnold, it's game over. You're not going to win. You got to play like you've played all year long and not fail in big moments, So what do you guys think about this matchup? You guys like the Seahawks or the 49ers?
I do like the Seahawks here. And to your point about Sam Darnold, he needs to have the type of season that he had when Tanner picked him to be the MVP of the league. That's the Sam Darnold we need to see.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that was a great 4 weeks, man. Great 4 weeks.
The great 4 weeks. Yeah. So the reason I'm going with Seattle here is I like their defense better. Obviously, Niners have, coach quarterback, more experience in the playoffs. But I do have a problem with the Niners here just being dead last in sacks in the regular season. So I think if Seattle can just neutralize that pass rush or the lack thereof, then I think Seattle is going to be good here. They are favored by 7, and I think they're going to get it done. They're playing at home, and I just think they got a better roster, man.
Yeah, I like the Seahawks too. What do you got, Tanner?
We got Slam and Sammy over here with the Chiefs draft rankings. Blaine, Woods, Tate, Love, and Downs is his ranking.
Interesting. All right.
I like Tate. I like the Tate part there at 3.
Yeah, well, at this point, wide receivers should definitely be open for discussion. since we don't know what the hell's going on right anymore with these guys. So I don't blame him for that one.
Yeah.
I don't know what I think about Woods. I mean, it's not a bad idea. I mean, the interior needs some help, and Chris Jones is getting older. I think I'm still leaning edge rusher at the moment, but I think the big debate for most of this offseason will be between Bain and David Bailey, and just between those two guys. And I already said I'm on the side of David Bailey at the moment.
Yep. No, not bad. Appreciate it, Slam Sammy. 49ers Seahawks come into play. Yes, this 49ers, man. What a IR list that is. What an injury list that is. Man, the injury report's ridiculous for the Niners. But they got the best player in the league on their team. The best player in the league on their team that can do everything they need. So, it's really hard to pick against them. I mean, you saw them what they were last week. It was hard to pick against them then. Against Philly there, and even with Kittle going out, right? You still got a couple of nice little backup tight ends that have produced and will produce on that side. I don't trust Seattle home. I don't trust Seattle unless they're on the road. On the road, they are a way better team than they are at home, believe it or not. If you look at the stats, look at fantasy, it's all there. They stink at home. And I don't trust coaching for them at home. I don't trust Darnold at home here. I think the 49ers go in and get a dub. I think they advance. I think Christian McCaffrey goes off for 120 yards. I think you get some touchdowns from the receivers. And DeMarcus Robinson, by the way, does what he does last week against a secondary that isn't going to get pass rush. As long as Trent Williams is there, it is. I'm going Niners here. I love the Niners in this game. And I don't think the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks should be overshadowed. You haven't played in a couple of weeks here, and you're playing at home where you're not very good at. Very close games at home all the time. I think it bites them.
So the guy who had Sam Darnold as the MVP of the league 4 years ago now all of a sudden does not trust Sam Darnold. Am I getting that straight?
Yes, the guy that had Sam Darnold at week 4 years ago. Week 4 years ago. Now, 4 years later, talking a playoff game.
Yeah, I'm just not buying into this whole idea that Seattle sucks at home thing. I understand they were 6-2 this year or whatever, but they have the number 1 defense in the league in points allowed and number 3 in points scored offensively. And you have the best receiver in the game.
You're playing a divisional opponent, man. You're playing a divisional opponent. If you were playing in Philadelphia, it'd be one thing. There'd be a little bit more trust in it. But you're not. You're playing a team a third time this season.
Yeah, I don't think that there's some
third time
home magic spell against the Seahawks. To me, there could be a lot of coincidence involved there.
They're just better on the road. That's all it is. Their road stats are way better than their home stats.
All right, well, that's his pick. So, no, I like Seattle as well myself. So I just think it's got a little bit too much firepower, a little bit too much as we talked about, pass rush wise, along with good running game, efficient quarterback play, and the best receiver in football this year. So there's just a lot going in their favor in this matchup. And San Fran is, still a good, well-coached team, but I don't think they have enough firepower against Seattle to get it done.
I don't think you need it.
All right, guys, we have a 2 p.m. matchup on Sunday. I kind of like these are a little earlier in the day, but we got Texans at Patriots. Should be a really good game here. The Texans probably have the 2 best defensive ends in the NFL together, going against a Patriots team who also is very well coached. Mike Vrabel's done a great job over there. Drake May is the real deal. And they're rolling pretty well, man. I think this is a really good team. And the Texans, we saw C.J. Stroud struggle big time in this previous game. I think on paper he had 4 fumbles, but I think it was more like 3. And just making, poor throws and mistakes throughout the game. Just kind of looked like a guy who at the moment was too big for him, but he got saved by an elite defense. And I think when you go to face off against the Patriots, they're going to make you pay for those mistakes. And I don't think you're going to be able to get away with the things that C.J. Stroud got away with last weekend. So, Yeah, for me, I like the Patriots a lot in this game, and they're going to find a way to neutralize some of that pass rush. Drake May's a great pocket quarterback that, has got some wheels too, but I think he's going to stick in the pocket and just get the ball off quick.
Yeah, I mean, the Texans obviously have the better defense of the two teams, but I think, it's going to be a close game. And I think no matter how bad CJ Stroud plays, I think that Texans defense will keep it close. But the Patriots also have a good defense, and I think they have a better coach. You got a head coach that's been there. He's got a lot of playoff experience. And I think for this particular year, they also have the better quarterback. CJ Stroud, hopefully he can make some improvements in the next couple of years. But I think as of right now, the Patriots do have the better coach and the better quarterback, and I think they get it done here. So I'm going to roll with the Patriots.
We got Tanner.
Houston. Now that's the best defense in the league. That's the best defense in the league. But you're not playing against Pittsburgh this week, guys. And your quarterback giving up 4 turnovers or whatever the hell it was. Awful. Like he's not good. I talk shit on him every year, every game. He's not good. CJ Stroud's not good. He's not meant for this team. He's not
His rookie year was pretty good, but he got worse.
Yeah. Well, when he lost Tank Dell, it's all gone downhill since then.
Yeah.
Whatever it is about it, it's all gone downhill, and he has not regained it. So, I mean, Patriots, man, they'll make you pay. They'll make you pay. They got, Ramondre Stevenson has been all over it this year, late half. You got Henderson that's right behind him, who can make a splash. Your receivers are great. Like you got Kyle Williams there. That all he needs is one big catch half the time, and you're in a great spot. Stephon Diggs can play really well. We've seen that before. I love what this Patriot team brings. I love the energy it brings. Vrabel has this team fired up going out of the tunnel. Start of the game, we saw what it was. Come Sunday night, it was game over. It was game over. Patriots had that thing locked up. So, give me the Pats. Give me the Pats. And if Stroud has more than 1 turnover, it's a blowout. It's a blowout win.
Yeah, I just think the Patriots are too well-rounded of a team for what the Texans are going to do, and they're basically the flaws are going to come out in this Texans game for them. Whereas the Patriots, I feel like they minimize their own flaws and they do a good job just as a team being able to do everything very well, very similarly to how the Patriots used to be, back with Tom Brady. So now I hope we don't have another Patriots dynasty on the horizon, but. For at least this year, I want to see them get another win on the table.
Why is it only a 3-point spread, guys? I mean, the way that we're talking right now, you would think that it would be like a 5 or a 6-point spread.
It just comes down to the Texans defense, and just how
it's the Texans defense.
Yeah, just how good they are on D, and that's really all it comes down to.
It's supposed to, so what's the over under, Jason? I haven't looked at lines. What's the over under?
Yeah, that plays an impact. It's like 40.5 on the over under.
Yeah, so there you go. That's it's a low scoring game projected.
Kind of a low scoring game.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why your line's gonna be so low.
Yeah. All right, guys, we got one more game, of course, at 5:30. I like these early games for the old people like myself.
Sunday night football.
I mean, it's still Sunday night, man. It'll be dark outside. We got
Rams
and Bears.
Here's a guy that looks like Patrick Mahomes.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, go again with that, Tanner.
Nothing.
Oh, he started drinking again.
He's drunk.
Yeah.
What you got over there, Miller Lite, Tanner?
Don't read that. There you go. That's
DP0. I got me Lagunitas Hoppy Refresher. It's like a hop water deal. It's pretty good actually. 0 calories too. All right, guys. Rams and Bears. I think this is gonna be a lot of fun. This should be a fun game without a doubt because I like the way that Caleb Williams played this past week was awesome in those big moments. Coming back, 25 points scored in the fourth quarter of that game by the Bears. They deserve to get that win. But the Rams, gosh, we can't ignore the fact that Stafford has experience. They got Puka Nacua still, of course, who's just a freaking monster at times. And I just think it's going to be a tough matchup between both of these teams, and this is a true pick 'em in my opinion because I don't know which way to go. So, do you guys have any insight for me?
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game because you don't have really an elite defense on either side here. The Bears typically like to create a lot of turnovers, but like you said, Matthew Stafford and all of his experience, I don't really see this as being a game where the Rams are going to turn the ball over. So I expect a high-scoring game. I do think the Rams are going to protect the ball in this one. But I think that the Rams with Stafford and Nakua and those guys, I think they have the potential to absolutely torch Chicago in this game. And I always roll with experience. These guys have been, Stafford, McVay, they've been to the Super Bowl, been there, done that, and they're going to find a way to win this game.
Yeah. What do you think, Tanner?
Matthew Stafford on the road, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we saw him struggle in Carolina. Not once, but twice at Carolina. He struggled. He lost the first time. Damn near lost this last
Kept turning the ball over, too, in those games.
And he turned the ball over. Let's take a look here at Matthew Stafford's splits, home versus away here in the interceptions category. At home, he has 1 interception. Great. Fabulous quarterback. MVP level. On the road, he has 7. 7 on the road. Total of 8 for the year. 7 on the road. And now you got to go to Chicago, where it's nice and cold, right? We got a cold fronts moving in right now. It's supposed to be 10 degrees here in KC, which means that sucker is going to be close to day near 0 wind chill, if not in the negatives. And it's going to be windy coming off the lake there. Matthew Stafford is going to struggle this game. He's going to throw a couple picks. This ain't going to be a clean game. Kyrie Williamson against save him. Puka Nakua is his only savior for the offensive side here. Devontae Adams is still beat up. He's playing hurt. You can see he's playing hurt. They ain't got nothing else other than that. Their line is going to get bull rushed, and this Bear defense will allow points. I can say that Matthew Stafford ain't scoring points. This is going to be a scoring points defense here. This is going to be some points here in some cold weather, but Chicago pulls it out. Chicago pulls it out once again. DeAndre Swift is going to torch between Kyle Monangai and DeAndre Swift. They're going to torch this Rams offense or defense, just like Seattle did, just like, Carolina kind of didn't. But there was the end game there. I think it was San Francisco. CMAC? Is that CMAC? Yeah, I think CMAC did it too. So, look, this Rams defense has a lot of flaws in the run game, and the one thing the Bears are really strong in is the run game here. So Chicago wins, they cover, and they move on, guys, to the NFC Conference title game because you're on the road. LA Rams are on the road. They blew it for themselves that way, without playing at home.
Yeah, speaking of that running game, man, I'm going to give a lot of credit to Eric Bieniemy over there as running backs coach for the Bears this year to get, first of all, Kyle Monangai went to Rutgers. He's a better running back than Isaiah Pacheco ever was. I mean, at the end of the, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we had 2 guys from Rutgers come out, and Pacheco ended up, not really being much of any. Of course, the injuries piled up and stuff.
Well, it's also Monangai's first year, dude. So just like Pacheco's first
as a
year,
rookie running back, came in right away and was extremely effective and reliable with DeAndre Swift. I think they ranked number 2 in the NFL.
Who do we have with Pacheco in that first year?
What, Pacheco?
Yeah,
the first year of Pacheco. I mean, he was kind of just doing it on his own, but it was still kind of ugly.
Wait, what? Can you say that again? You mean there's no vet presence like DeAndre Swift?
I'm telling you, Pacheco's not a good running back. I'm telling you, Monangai is a
better. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm just telling you why Monangai looks so good. And it ain't the enemy.
It helps to have
the enemy's part of it, but also
line.
The support of DeAndre Swift.
And you can back and forth with Swift, so that does help. But
yeah, we'll see. We'll see when Monangai is by himself next year, with Swift gone. So
he doesn't need to be by himself. He still should be running back by committee. You could get somebody else in there too with him.
I know. I'm just saying. That's all.
Yeah. So, anyways, this game really is a coin flip to me. It could go either way. It just depends on who shows up in this one. It's one of those games where if Stafford comes out, doesn't turn the ball over, they win. If the Bears go out there, which led the league in turnovers forced, then the Bears win. And Bears at home is going to play a huge impact in this game. So I want to give a slight edge to the Bears in this game, but that's me taking a guess.
Slamming Sammy Joe, he's out here torn, just like I was the Bills Denver game. He says, as a St. Louis boy, I will never root for the Rams again. Now the other team is Chicago. Yeah, what direction do you go, man? Because I know you don't want to go Chicago's route. So,
yeah, I thought the Bears were fun to watch last week, and I've liked watching some of the games they've been a part of. So,
yeah,
but
that's San Francisco.
I also like Matt Stafford too. So we'll see on that one. That's a tough game for sure. I was going to say, as I was reading, you mentioned Peter Woods again. Yeah, I'm going to spend a lot more time on Peter Woods, and just kind of do some deep dive. But there's a lot of time for deep dives here coming up with the draft. So
yeah, we'll have a lot more draft.
I'm at the moment not a big Bain fan. Not to say he's bad. I just at number 9 overall, that's not who I want at the moment. But Peter Woods is pretty good, and we are going to need somebody to replace Chris because this D tackle situation is terrible in Kansas City. So, it's not something that's off the table for me. I could see why it'd be a good fit, but like I said, guys, we're in the middle of January. We're not gonna know for sure we're gonna fall in love with somebody in the draft process, and I'm not in love with anybody yet. That takes time to develop, and maybe in 3 months we can have a different discussion about that. All right, guys. Well, are we off to our last topic of the day?
Think so.
All right, then. Well,
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. Who you got, gentlemen? It is National Pizza Week. Who you got as the best pizza that you've ever had in your life?
That's his big question of the day on Pizza Week. Man, I don't even know. I've had, I'm not opposed to just going to the store and getting a frozen pizza, man.
So you roll with Totino's? Is that your favorite?
I'll be honest. I've always been a Domino's fan, but Papa John's is really good. I like Papa John's because they're crust. But obviously, I'm talking about chain restaurants and stuff like that. Old Shiny Pizza is not bad, but it's not my favorite in town or anything. It's a tough question, man. I don't know which way to go on. I did have pizza from New York last weekend. It was from New York, got shipped here, and it was interesting. It was a cheeseburger pizza. I had to I put pickles on there and everything, and you had to bake it, and it was really good. But it didn't feel like your traditional New York pizza. So I feel like I need to actually go out there and have a slice.
Yeah, the cheeseburger pizza is actually my wife's favorite. Every time we go to Minsky's,
yeah,
we get cheeseburger every time. So, who you got, Tanner?
It's a good question. I've had a lot of great pizza. I'm a big fan of Pizza Man.
Apparently, too much.
What'd you say, Tanner?
Swear to God, I like the Pizza Man on Flum. There in Lenexa.
Pizza Man?
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
What the hell is the Pizza Man?
Never heard of him.
It's the building stuff next to Grinders there. You have to go look. You have to go check it out.
Oh, there's a pizza place over there. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, it's called the Pizza Man. It's literally one guy that runs it himself. It's phenomenal. Small business. There. But I don't know, man. I actually had a really good Minsky's 4 cheese the other day, so that was pretty good. But I don't know. I'm not picky. Usually when I want pizza, it's usually a drunk night, for that matter. But I'm not picky. I just like good pizza. I like the crust to not be floppy. I don't want floppy, crappy crust. I don't care otherwise outside of that, but it needs to be able to sit and not flop down unless you're too heavy because you have all the veggies and meats on top of it.
Yeah, I remember all those nights we used to have Sarpinos at like 4 a.m. Those were the good old days.
I did that a time or two.
Now, I here locally, I'm always going to roll with Minsky's no matter what. And then on the national level,
They're good.
It's always going to be Pizzeria Uno, man. That's the best I've ever had.
Pizzeria.
You've got well, it's still a national chain, but the original one is right there in Chicago, and that deep dish is by far the best I've ever had.
You also love isn't there a pizza chain down in Tulsa, Oklahoma?
I
don't even know.
Yeah, that's more of just like what do you call it? Like a drunk fest, favorite drunk fest. Pizza.
Oh, that one.
Mazio's.
Mazio.
You guys realize we have Mazio's here?
Yes, we do. It's in the gas station down in Olathe.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is.
K7 going towards Leavenworth. There's a Mazio's in gas station there too.
I forgot that it's always here.
So we have Mazio's here in town, Tanner. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I always forget about that.
The gas station is not the same as like going to the restaurant. So, but it is good, man. I'll give Mazio's their props.
Yeah.
That's that'd be my number one in Oklahoma, the whole state of Oklahoma.
When I grew up in Harrisonville, we had Mazio's out there, the actual restaurant. So I had my fair share of Mazio's.
It's amazing, dude. I love it.
Yeah, but in Tulsa, Mazio's, that particular pizza we get is phenomenal for what we're doing out there.
And I think you guys always liked it because all the teenage girls always hang around in there.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Jeez.
Yep, he got us on that one, didn't he?
Why we're not on Facebook.
It's an all-you-can-eat buffet, Jason. Teenage girls, apparently.
Holy hell.
Jesus. All right, guys. Well, that was not the topic I thought we were going to go with, but I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah, let's try this again.
Let's try this for the last topic of the day now.
Easy money bet of the week.
Easy money bets. All right. When we saw you guys last, we were picking our week 17 picks, believe it or not, here. And I got that recap. Okay. This is it's an interesting round. But got the recap. As always, we start with the worst of the group for that week, and that's none other than Mike. Mike, you were the worst again. You had Jags minus 6.5. That did not hit. And the Broncos minus 13.5 did not hit. So and that was against the Chiefs. So that was 2 losses there for you to round out your regular season easy money bets. Then we'll go to the second worst, and because JG is good there, so we'll go myself. I had 5 picks, 2 losses, and Amon-Ra St. Brown over 78.5. Receiving yards didn't hit, and Pickens over 78.5. Receiving yards didn't pick, so those 2 lost. But we did hit the Tyler Shuck pick of over 219 passing yards. We hit the Chase Brown over 80.5 rushing plus receiving yards, and a Michael Porter Jr. over 32.5 points and rebounds. He hit there. I had a 3-2 weekend for that play. And then, of course, the guy without any losses is JG out here. Houston plus 2.5, I believe, against the Titans, and the Bengals minus 7. They covered handily as well. So JG with a 2-0 week. That brings us leading into the divisional playoff weekend. JG, 9-11. Somebody call 911 here because he is winning. 12-20 for Mike. That's a 38 win percentage, by the way. 12-20. Under 40.
It's been a rough year.
And then myself here at 20-28. So that puts the Buffoons here at 41-59 at 41% win percentage going into divisional playoff weekend.
It's been a bad one.
Yeah, we're going to keep it going until the Super Bowl. So I'm going to have a chance to go 500, provided that I don't screw up this week.
Yeah. Yep. So we got a few picks left at least. So who's going to kick us off?
JG.
Yeah, I'll go ahead, man. I'm having some difficulties this week because somebody took the one that I wanted, so I just had to pull one out of my ass. So, and I'm like going through all these games over and over again.
You
so
can still play it, dude.
I'm not going to go with my
doubling
gut.
down.
Not going to go with my gut. This is probably a mistake. I am going to go ahead and take Seattle to cover that 7 points. Wanted to go with the Rams. You guys kind of talked me out of it, making it sound like the Bears are going to put up a fight here.
Yeah, they will put up a fight.
So I'll go ahead and go with Seattle Seahawks -7, and they're going to take care of business against this 49ers team that's a little banged up.
Nice. Yeah, mine. I'm keeping it simple, man. It's been a bad year with my picks, and I don't want to get crazy anymore. I was there for a minute. I was at 500 again. Then I kept falling back. I would make 4 picks in a week and all of a sudden lose. So I'm just keeping it simple. And we have a pick'em game on the schedule, which is the Broncos and Bills. And I'm taking the Bills. I believe in Josh Allen to get a win when it matters most, and he's going to overcome some obstacles. And whenever he gets to the AFC Championship game again, he's going to get a lot of credit for making up for a lack of receiving weapons on that roster. So, I think I like the Bills. And
is that Bills -1 or -1.5?
No, you take the money line minus. It's 105. You take the money line.
Bills money line.
It's basically even money. It's close as even money as you can get. So 105, just Bills to win.
All right, Mike, you're riding a 5-game losing streak. So
yeah, I know. I'm only doing one bet because it's been a bad year.
All right, so that's it. All right, cool. Look, I haven't looked at player props. I don't usually bet in the playoffs for player props or game lines until the Super Bowl. I don't do it in college either. But I got one for you guys. It's a pretty easy pick here. You're going against Seattle at Seattle. You're a beat up team. You're gonna have to check it down. No Kittle, no anything. We're going C-Mac, baby. Over 106.5 rushing plus receiving yards here. He's hit this multiple times, pretty easily as well. He's usually the main target, anyways. Here, we're taking C-Mac here to have the game like he always does. The best player in the league to take care of business here. So give me C-Mac over 106.5 rushing plus receiving yards for week 18, or I guess our week 18 divisional weekend. So that's all I got.
All right, easy enough.
All my focus has been on college basketball picks, so I have not really focused NFL picks. So that's what I got.
It's okay to keep it simple here towards this end of this season. So, like I said, it's been a rough year for the Buffoons group. So I'm hoping JG can get to 500. That'd be pretty awesome. But I don't know. I don't got a lot of faith in us as a group at the moment. So next year we're going to have a lot of making. Maybe next year we'll all revert back and win 60%.
Oh man, a couple of us are above 40%. So I think a couple of us are okay.
Hey, I was over 40% for a long time, and then decided to lose 4 in a row, and then now here
5 in a row.
Yeah, see, that's when you need to make sure you're using the D. Allen Bear strategy, because at 40%, you're gonna be struggling unless you're using the D. Allen Bear.
That's a good point. Now, but if you lose 5 in a row, that's you could run into problems.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, you have lost 5 in a row.
I know.
So,
I
yeah.
have.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
That's why we're just getting back to the simple shit right here, and just
right.
One bet.
All right, it's saved. It's there, ready to go.
All right, and yeah, we're gonna talk more with Slam and Sammy there about the draft as we go over the weeks. So looking forward to diving into more things. I know what he means here about this Bailey comment, and I know I understand where he's coming from on that. I also look at David Bailey and know he's 22 years old, and Steve Spagnuolo is not going to be here for another 10 years. I think we got to think about the future and the way we're going to be using guys going forward. And this whole defense might look super different here in a couple of years. So it just depends on what kind of direction they want to go in. But I also think that Bailey can be an edge, even as it is. But I would like to have a outside speed rusher kind of guy, and I think he's the closest thing at the moment we could fit in right there to be an every down speed rusher guy. But we're gonna spend a lot of time diving into stuff before we make any, I guess, concrete opinions about anybody at the moment, but we'll be doing that in the next 3 months. All right, guys, have any other comments before we get out of here?
I got one question for you guys. I got one question for you guys. How did you take it that when the Ravens owner came out and said he fired John Harbaugh over the phone? What was your thoughts? Anything?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they didn't get along or something. I mean, maybe there for a while there's some contempt or something that went on because I did listen to some of the interview with that owner, and he was asked at one point about if Tyler Loop had made that field goal, if Harbaugh would still be around, and all the owner said was, yeah, for a week, basically. Yeah, he'd get one more week. And so that the owner didn't really seem like he had a lot of favorable things to say about Harbaugh on the way out. And he did have favorable things to say about Mike Tomlin, though, funny enough. But yeah, I don't know. The way it came across, it didn't seem like there was some getting along going on there. But I don't know. I could be totally off base.
Yeah, it's not a big deal, man. Like if you want to fire somebody over the phone, like who cares? Just fire them. I mean, there's plenty of women out there that like to break up with their boyfriends over the phone. It happens all the time. So why can't you fire somebody over the phone? Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you've
What's
been
Mike
somewhere for
Tomlin's
18
next
years,
gig?
man. I don't know.
What's Tomlin's next gig? What's he doing? He's taking a step away from coaching. So
Yeah, he's going to take a year off.
what's he doing?
I mean, if you're Mike Tomlin, take a year off, man.
No, I think
Is
what he needs to do is he needs to take over Bill Cowher's job, the other former Steelers coach.
Well,
just
you know,
slide
it's
right
funny.
in?
Just saying, Bill Cowher's getting a little long in the tooth. He probably needs to step
Well,
down.
what's funny about Cowher is for years after Cowher retired or stepped away, everyone thought every year, oh, he's going to come back to coaching. He's going to come back. Well, the years went by and he never did. he just stayed, taking the easy. Honestly, it's a good gig he's got, and it's not a lot of pressure compared to being a head coach in the NFL. So
That's why also it's kind of like reminds me of Mel Kiper Jr. A lot of people thought that he would get a GM job one day, and then the years just went by and it never happened.
boy, he'd been fired quick. Mike Mayock was the GM for the Raiders for a couple of years, and even that went downhill real fast. And I like Mike Mayock. I'm a Mike Mayock fan for the most part. But Mel Kiper Jr., are you kidding me? Oof. That would be a disaster of a roster he'd put together. My God. In fact, I'd like to see him just take over the Raiders or Broncos as GM one day and just
I'd like to
drive him
see
into
how
the
bad.
ground.
I just want to see how bad it would be.
It'd be hilarious. I mean, I would love it. But that's a funny idea for a different day. But all right, Tanner, anything else, or we're getting out of here?
Yeah, I was just curious about those two things. That's all.
All right. Well, we'll get back at this here in a week or two, and as we get closer to the Super Bowl, and hopefully it goes in our favor and not the Broncos over the weekend. So we'll see what happens. All right, guys. Well, thank you all for hanging out with us for a while, and hope you all enjoy the rest of your week and weekend. And we're going to sip on our non-alcoholic drinks and just go to bed, I think. So I will see you all on the next one.
Outro.
See you guys.